Welcome to episode no 9 of Sales with Value. Today, we're going to tackle a huge question, one that pretty much every single person in sales asks themselves. What's the real secret behind the success of the big companies?
I mean, you've seen it, right? Some companies just seem to be on this unstoppable upward path, always growing, always expanding, while others just feel stuck, treading water year after year. Now, is it just because they have more money, more resources? Well, that's the easy answer, but it's not the real one. The truth is, it's about a different way of thinking, a specific strategy that we're going to break down right now.
Okay, let's jump right into the first core principle. The biggest snack companies in the world figured something out a long, long time ago. If you want to get truly massive, you don't start in the biggest, fanciest stores. No, you start in the smallest, most overlooked places you can find.
And just look at the kinds of places we're talking about here. Tea stalls, tiny pan shops, bustling bus stands, and little stores tucked away in the back alleys. These aren't glamorous spots, but you know what they are? They're where people actually live their lives, every single day. This is the real ground floor, where a massive distribution network is built, one small shop at a time.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. This is the fundamental truth, and it's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? Real, massive scale isn't built by landing a few giant accounts. It's built from the ground up, by creating a presence that's so widespread, so dense, that it becomes a part of the daily routine of the community. Now for our second key idea, and honestly, this one is a game changer. When a successful company enters a new area, what do you think their first goal is? To get a big order? Nope. Their first goal is to build a habit.
And this breaks down the whole process so perfectly. See, it all starts with just being visible. Your product simply has to be seen. Then, over time, that constant visibility turns into recognition. People start to know your brand. And that recognition, combined with availability, slowly, quietly builds a habit. And only then, once that habit is locked in, does the order come naturally. The sale is the results. It's not the starting point.
So the whole focus shifts, you see? It moves away from a one-time transaction to a long-term strategy. You're not just selling a snack, you're becoming a small part of someone's daily life. And once you've done that, the orders, well, they just take care of themselves.
All right, so let's see how all this builds into the ultimate competitive advantage. This third principle is all about relentless, systematic expansion. It's about getting your reach to a point where the game itself changes in your favor. Just look at this comparison. It puts everything into perspective. A big company thinks about launching in a whole new country. You can think about covering one new street. They plan their entry into a new city. You can plan your entry into a new colony right in your area. The mindset, the strategy, it's exactly the same. The only difference is the scale. I want you to really think about this question. It's a direct challenge to all of us. That same ambition to grow, to expand your territory and reach, that's the very same engine that powers these massive global corporations. So why not apply that powerful thinking to your own work?
This brings us to a simple, universal truth of sales. It's not complicated at all. If your product isn't on that shelf, it basically doesn't exist for the customer at the moment they decide to buy. All your effort, all your relationship building, it's all lost in that final moment. Visibility isn't just important, it's absolutely everything. And that right there is the ultimate prize. When your product is literally everywhere, it becomes the default choice, the easiest option. You don't have to beat the competition head-on anymore. You make them irrelevant just by always being there. Your presence becomes your power. So, we've talked about starting small, building habits, and achieving total reach. But what powers all of this? What's the secret ingredient? It's not luck. It's the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, having the right system and the right mindset. When we talk about a method or a system, this is what we mean. It's not about just randomly driving around hoping you find a new shop. No. It's a deliberate process. It's looking at your map and asking, where are the gaps? Which street corner doesn't have a store carrying my product yet? Where is my next hidden opportunity? It's about thinking like a strategist, not just a seller. This is a core belief you have to adopt. Growth isn't an accident. It's the predictable result of a smart plan that's executed consistently. It comes from having a method and sticking with it, day in and day out. And I really want to leave you with this thought as we wrap up. Never, ever think of your work as small. The daily grind of finding a new outlet, of making sure your product is visible, of covering one more street, that is the exact same work that builds global empires. You are executing a world-class strategy just on your own turf. So here it is, the final point. The limits of your territory aren't drawn on a map, they're drawn in your mind. Adopt the mindset of a builder, a strategist, an expander. Change your thinking, and I promise you, you will be amazed at how quickly your territory and your success grows right along with it.